Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot to say about this show tonight, from the Knockouts Tag Title Tournament beginning and the final match of the Rascalz together before they leave Impact, their farewell episode and whatnot. Before I do begin this review, I do want to say I did see Turning Point. I know I didn't have a review for it, but I did watch the show. It was okay, for what it was. I watched it because I figured it was going to be a title change and everything. Well, it was two title changes. I'm not surprised Deonna Purrazzo won the title back from Su Yung, which was actually a really good match, probably the best one on the show. But I'm kind of not surprised she won it back. And the Good Brothers versus the North, once again, another good match. But I kind of figured they were going to win the titles too. Also, I do want to, excuse me, say at least a little bit about Joe Doring on his debut. I don't really know who the guy is. I didn't really know who they brought in there when he came in attacking the Deaners or why he was with Eric Young. I'm like, okay, this guy is with Eric Young in a cowboy hat. I don't know much about him, and I'm just kind of going by what the commentators said. The guy was in All Japan Pro Wrestling, and they basically listed off his accomplishments and title wins. So, judging by his look, he's a big dude, got some size. And say the guy may look like Stan Hansen, as people are saying on the internet and whatnot. But the guy has potential. In a way, I didn't really know why he's with Eric Young. I'm not sure if Eric Young is still even going for the World Championship, because I don't see what beating up underneath guys is really gonna do. But I guess it's just to make Joe Doring look small. Not Joe Doring look small, but make Jordan Doring look just look really tougher or just strong than basically a lot of guys on the show and whatnot. So we'll see where this goes with him and Eric Young. I was just surprised he was out there with Eric Young in general, because I didn't know what they were having Eric Young do now since he lost his rematch for the world title and whatnot. So we'll see what happens, but I will say I am interested to see what this Joe Doring guy does, though. Like I said, he's got an interesting look, and I look forward to see what they got going for him. But moving on this show, other than just a little turning point thing, those are mostly the notable things I could take from that show. We kicked it off with Moose versus Willie Mack in no disqualification match. They did have a match at Turning Point on Saturday, but it ended up in a DQ finish since Moose kept hitting him to death. So basically they did a rematch, basically almost the same outcome, with Moose doing punches until the referee stepped in. Basically, Willie Mack could not continue, so Moose was still the winner, which, he's still holding around that TNA championship and whatnot. I still think he's going to be the one to take the belt off of Rich Swann, in my opinion. This guy really needs to be the world champion and stop, carrying the TNA title one, which, like I said, I know some people say, well, it was the TNA title, but it's not technically, it's defunct, okay? It's a defunct title at this point, so I'm surprised he's still carrying his belt around even after the whole EC3 feud and whatnot. I thought he would actually drop it. Next, they showed the Rascalz basically highlights of themselves in the treehouse from one of them going with Gail Kim to a Jonas Brothers concert, or a Moose coming in to punch and kick them and everything, which, I look at the Rascalz, and I'm going to have a lot to say more about it at the end, but they didn't really have any highlights of them that I could say that were actually good or show a match that was very significant in their run on Impact. Okay, it was just comedy segments they showed in the treehouse and whatnot. It's not like they won the tag team titles or won like a big match on this show, so it's kind of hard to take from that looking at their treehouse and the little highlights they have, but I'll have more to say about that at the end. Suicide went against Geo. Really don't know who that is. Basically, Joe Doring, Eric Young came out and attacked them. Eric Young delivered a promo saying that Doring will be the reason that you can't sleep at night, that this world does not belong to you, it belongs to us. So at least we're trying to know a little of them, but like I said, they got Doring out there beating up guys, which this was actually a good way to do, because I didn't really want to see a suicide match in general, so there you go. But they are doing what they can to build up Doring, I see. Gia Miller interviewed Deonna Purrazzo and Kimber Lee as Purrazzo talked about being a Knockouts champion again, and it says what's better than one than two titles since they are in the tag tournament. But next thing you know, I guess it was Su Yung who did the whole whatever special effects thing, which didn't look good also. Basically, on the mirror it says your time has come or your time is coming. One of the two, so this is not over yet. Rhino, Heath Slater in the back as Swan. I guess Rich Swan gave him a number to, the therapist and everything. Rhino's going to go make the call, so he left out, and Eric Young and Joe Doring were out there. And he says, hey, I like what you guys did out there earlier, but it's not going to happen in here. Basically, Eric Young punched Rhino. They start beating him up, and then they basically went into whatever room Heath Slater is and closed the doors. So they probably beat him up too, for all I know. But obviously they got Eric Young and Joe Doring just killing folks on here. Brian Myers went against Crazy Steve. I don't know what happened with that match with Swoggle on Saturday. I'm kind of glad I didn't see it. Brian Myers got the win right here, so good for him. Which I'll give one thing. At least Brian Myers is not losing all the time like he did in WWE, but I just don't think he should have been facing Swoggle there, because it just screams almost an illusion streak where he was in WWE. So at least they're kind of giving him wins and whatnot. So that's not bad. Like, I'm trying to believe in Brian Myers, and he's not Kurt Hawkins anymore. Just they gotta find, at least they're trying to find a way to make him, give him some wins and whatnot. At least they're trying to do something with this. Next, they showed, what was it, more trying to find out who shot Johnny Bravo with Tommy Dreamer, Sherlock Holmes, and Swinger out there, which he had a gun for some reason. I guess they're going to go to Wrestlers Court next week. In the beginning of this tag title tournament, Alicia Edwards and Tenille Dashwood went against Havoc and Nevaeh in the first round. I figured Havoc and Nevaeh were going to get the win right here, which I've seen the whole bracket for the tournament, which is not a bad bracket, okay? They've really done a kind of solid job, I should say, and having a bracket and build up for this tag title tournament, even bringing names outside of the company and whatnot. So that's pretty good. I figured Havoc and Nevaeh was going to win, given that Alicia and Tenille Dashwood was a makeshift team anyway. So Havoc and Nevaeh move on into the tournament and whatnot. So not bad to kick it off. Jordan Grace was watching in the back as she told her mystery partner, her mystery partner was retired. Well, she heard she was retiring, and she had to give it a shot. So she's grateful that she's teamed with her. So I guess we're gonna find out that mystery person next week. Not really sure, but we'll find out. Hernandez went against Fala Bod. This is still over that Wada Cash thing. I could have swore Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan took it last week. Why does nobody put this money in their bank account? I don't know. Don't really care for this, especially this Wada Cash stuff. So yeah, Hernandez got the win. Rohit Raju was talking about how he won last Saturday as Scott D'Amore was watching on. You want to be the megastar and whatnot, and all these class fights. And, next when he walked off, Scott D'Amore talked about I missed the Austin Aries days with the option C. I wish he could be option up out of here. But, as TJP was talking, he basically kind of gave TJP many hints, like, Dusty Rhodes would have done the same thing. TJP cannot face for this title again, but someone, anybody, of different persona, not you, but a different persona, anybody who could try to face him for that title. Obviously, he's got to be, Manic, I'm supposing, because Suicide got killed earlier in the night, so I'm assuming TJP will be Manic again to go after the title as a different persona. Gallows and Anderson were in the back with Scott D'Amore again. Oh, God, stop putting this guy on TV all the time. Basically, they were talking about their merchandise and everything until Ethan Page came in, wanting a rematch for the tag titles. Carl Anderson, what you get? We got to go through a phenomenal opponent. And who's going to be this phenomenal wrestler, huh? Who is going to be the one that's going to be phenomenal, huh? Where's the phenomenal in that? Which, obviously, it's not going to be AJ Styles. But I just find it funny when they keep saying, your opponent's going to be very phenomenal. Yeah, and he's not in this company either, so, okay. Next, though, we got the Rascalz of Dez and Wentz versus Trey Miguel and Rich Swann, the final match of the Rascalz in Impact, as they all kind of celebrated together before beginning this match. This was a good tag team main event. I enjoyed this. This was good. I liked it. Trey and Rich Swann got the win and everything after, dodging the hot fire flame and whatnot. It was a very fun match to watch. Yes, it was. And then next they basically were all emotional then. They all hugged each other. The Rascalz left their jackets on the, on the ropes in the middle of or the top rope in the middle of the ring. Their 420 jackets before they went in the back. And as they went in the back, basically, it's over. Swann came in to hug them, but next thing you know, Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan threw a trash can at all four of these guys, knocking them all to the ground. Shamrock kept punching Swann, saying like, I'm gonna tear you limb from limb next week when he goes for the title. So yes, we got Ken Shamrock versus Rich Swann for the World Championship next week. Let me say this about the Rascalz. I said this last week. I actually thought this was a work at first until I actually started looking up that they really were leaving at their contracts expired too. I think about a month or two ago. I didn't know they were actually leaving. I thought that was part of a work. And given how they did this, I'll give them, they acknowledge that they were leaving and they're going somewhere else and they're done with Impact. But at the same time, I really believe that Impact really did drop the ball with the Rascalz. Given what they've been in group for 2 years and whatnot. They never won the tag titles. They never won the X Division title. And I feel like they've always been kept in that mid-card comedy role most of the time. I enjoyed the Treehouse segments at time to time. And I like some of the matches they did too. But it's not like they ever won the belts or anything also, okay? That's where I believe they dropped the ball with them. I think they were trying to go somewhere with Trey Miguel being a single star. But that never really kind of went into play too. I was hoping it was going to go somewhere for Trey Miguel. They looked like they wanted to put him towards the world title, especially in the feud with, Ace Austin and whatnot for the X Division title. And they were kind of building him up to be serious. And I was kind of digging it. I'm like, okay, let's see where they're going with Trey. But they never really capitalized on it. And I just feel like the Rascalz were never getting anywhere towards the titles. Like, they looked like they were getting somewhere towards the titles, but then they kind of went to the lower card of the tag teams than being in the higher card of the tag teams. And, I look at Desmond Xavier, who's even been there longer, too. He was there when, I shit on Jeff Jarrett and his little GFW bull crap and everything, but at least they really were trying to build him to a star when they were doing that X Cup back then in 2017, and he had won it, and he went for the X Division title, but I don't think he ever did get the X Division title. I think it was against Taiji Ishimori at the time. He was the X Division champion, and they were really kind of building this guy to be a thing, but, once Jeff Jarrett left, that's when they created the Rascalz group and put Desmond Xavier in there with Wentz and Miguel. Now, I know a lot of rumors that these guys are going to WWE, which, hey, I'll understand if that's true and whatnot, as a lot of people say. They'll probably go somewhere else and, get paid more and whatnot, which I'm not going to go into the whole joke like a lot of the internet marks do about, well, Impact's paying people in peanuts, how are they still a company, blah, 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 blah. Basically, though, like I said, there's probably more money on the table wherever they go. Like I said, I heard they were going to WWE. The plan, maybe they be on NXT. I don't know. Some say NXT need more tag teams. Please don't go to 205 Live. 205 Live is a death sentence, in my opinion. So I don't know why they would put them on that show. Maybe NXT. I don't know where they'll go. Some say MLW. Some say Ring of Honor. Some say AEW. I don't know where the Rascalz are gonna end up. Okay, like I said, it does suck that they're gone, but at the same time, Impact, I really believe, dropped the ball on these guys, and I think they could have went somewhere. And these are like somewhat, in a way, homegrown guys when you think about it too. These are guys we've never really seen before that they brought in. It's not like they were just brought in from some other company and then they put the title on. These were kind of like, in a way, a little bit of homegrown talent, which they could have like I said before, they could have capitalized on. But I feel like they didn't do that. They just didn't capitalize on the talent they had right there. And they just kind of let it go, and they got involved in this, mid-card comedy act and whatnot. I didn't think it was a bad gimmick and everything, but and they, trust me, they're not gonna let them do that smoke circle stuff. And WWE, I'll say that they won't let them do that, but maybe anywhere else that's a possibility and everything. And like I said, I like the Rascalz and whatnot. I think all three of those guys are really good. Like I said, I just felt like they really could have gone somewhere else with this. At least win the tag team titles once. At least win the X Division title once. Something out of that as a group. Any of that. That's why I said before, the only thing they had to show of highlights was just mostly their comedy segments. Like, oh yeah, dude, I took Gail Kim to a Jonas Brothers concert, or, Moose is coming in and beating me up. They didn't have any other type of highlights other than that. So it just the way they presented it last week. I just like I said before, I didn't think they were leaving. I thought this was just gonna be going on to a new gimmick or just they were gonna move the treehouse somewhere else. I didn't really think they were actually leaving the company. I didn't really know that till I started reading more reports about the Rascalz leaving and whatnot. So yeah, like I said, I don't know where they're gonna end up. We'll just have to find out and see what happens. Hopefully, they will be better utilized to wherever they go and everything. But like I said before, I think Impact really did drop the ball with all these guys, and I think it could have went somewhere at least bigger, somewhere different, or something in this. So we'll see what happens to the Rascalz and wherever they end up. Okay, so I doubt they'll have the same gimmick and everything, but they will do something. Okay, like I said, I enjoyed their matches here. They were really good. Like I said, they're good in general, but we'll have to see where they go on from this. So other than that, that is my review of Impact this week and everything. Like I said, next week the Knockouts Tag Title Tournament continues. We'll see where that's gonna go. Just the world title will be on the line next week also. So a lot of things they still got packed in for next week for Impact. Okay. Other than that, though, that's my review of the show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodandKnight890. It is No I Go, Show and I Flow. Like I said, check out any other review that is posted online right now. Comment, subscribe. You know how this whole thing goes. Check out the Urban Wrestling Network also online right now, where you can find me and several other people basically in an umbrella videos working together on this stuff. Like I said, Bodega Wrestling Podcast. Check that out also on the Urban Wrestling Network. Other than that, though, I'm done with this review. I'm out here. See you guys later. Peace out.